What's going on? Zulio here with a video on farming Dire Maul East as a Holy Paladin. I'll also show you some of my tricks along the way. For my gear setup, I'm using 5-piece Judgment and 2-piece rank 10 for the spell damage bonus. For trinkets, it really depends on what you're doing and where you're at in Dire Maul. I use a combination of the Zandalarian Hero Charm, Briarwood Reed, the Ultra Flash Shadow Reflector, we'll get into that later, Ramstein's Lightning Bolts. I'm using Holy Paladin Blade for my weapon, and Skull Flame Shield. You'll also see me use Skull of Impending Doom and the nifty stopwatch to move quickly between areas. The whole reasoning behind Skull Flame Shield is the life steal. It scales with spell damage, and you'll see it heal me for over 600. Having the shield heal me allows me to spend more time on damage. I start out by farming Lashers. I jump down with Bob, Seal of Wisdom, then I bless myself with Wisdom to cancel Bob, and then I judge and reseal Wisdom and go to town on Consecration. You'll see me use the Zandalarian Hero Charm, Consecration. It's great because Consecration doesn't use one of the charges from the trinket. And then you'll see Skull Flame Shield healing me, and check it out, 600 when the trinket's active. So this allows me to keep dishing out the damage while the shield keeps me alive. Wait, Paladins dishing out damage. Is that a thing? Oh, I see. Pull a double pack here and make sure they aren't hitting your back, as you can't block, dodge, or parry while a mob is hitting you. Demons can be killed, and they drop demonic and dark runes. There will be 4 of these mobs stealth that you'll need to kill. I usually just pop Zandalarian Hero Charm, just blow them up with Exorcism, hold a shock, and I judge Seal of Righteousness. This is Zevrim Thornhoof. Zevrim takes some time to solo, especially as a Holy Paladin. Usually takes me around 5 minutes. Now check this out. This pillar I use here will break the path the boss makes. And all I really use is Exorcism and Holy Shock. I'll try to weave in some Seal of Righteousness judgments and some melee. You'll want to conserve mana to kill this boss in a timely manner. So my tips and tricks include, for this boss, bubble out a sacrifice. If you get caught by sacrifice, this is your only ticket out. So if you get sacrificed and you're sitting in it, you definitely want to be reactive with your Divine Shield. Which brings me to my next trick. If you can be proactive with casting, you can activate the Ultra Flash Shadow Reflector to reflect sacrifice back to the boss. Now, the spell does get reflected. However, it does not chain the boss to the pedestal like it does for players. He does take damage, but that spell is designed, any damage that spell does, it heals him. So it really doesn't end up doing any damage to the boss, but it will protect you from being caught in sacrifice. So I usually use this instead of bubble. I try to be as proactive as I can pre-casting it. Next, Mana per 5 helps with this fight, since you'll be dodging and waiting for Exorcism and Holy Shock to come off cooldown. The shield from Rag, Finkel's, the boots from ZG, and other MP5 items can help you with your mana regen if you find yourself running out of mana early on in the fight. You can prolong the fight by keep doing this little safe spotting, line of sighting the boss till you gain mana back. Jump near the pillar to cast. I like to sneak in the jump. Be wary though. You can get sacrificed, and he can also cast Shadow Word Pain on you. You have to be really careful with this. Weaving in melee for extra damage helps, but I caution not to get too greedy. That extra melee, guess what it'll cost? A sacrifice, and you don't have bubble, and it hurts. Don't rush the fight. Getting that extra judgment or shock isn't worth the graveyard run and the repair bill. Take time and don't break your rhythm. Alzzin the Wildshaper. This guy, he's got 3 forms. His caster form, tree form, and dire wolf form. Now, we're not going to kill this boss. We're actually going to get him down to 50%. The imps open up the cave, and that's where we need to go into, so we'll get there. His tree form has a knockback. His dire wolf form has a snare that will slow your movement speed. Simply stay out of melee range to avoid any of these abilities. His caster form is deadly. He casts a mana drain called Enervate that is a poison. Enervate is the opposite of Innervate for druids. Instead of gaining mana, 200 mana is drained every second. Alzzin also has a big direct damage plus damage over time spell called Wither, and it's a disease. I use Stone Form and Line of Sight to avoid those 2 spells. Once I see him path towards me in that form, I run to the wall. From there, I wait until he's about right here. Now, right there, I jump out of sight. I can sneak an exorcism in. Then go back up, rinse and repeat, baby. When the cave opens, the imps and plants will chase you down. You want to quickly move to the safe spot. So what you want to do is wait till the imps are almost about to attack you when you're on the rock, and then jump on the platform. Once on that platform, wait as long as possible. The imps have a fast movement speed, and then that's the time when you jump off that area and run over to the safe spot. Once you get to the safe spot, you want to spam your drink. You definitely want to get mana for this. In order to get in the cave, the imps have to die. The imps are connected to the plants, which are connected to the boss. Once you kill the imps, they'll no longer aggro you, and you can walk through the cave. Now, there is another way to do this. Instead of spamming your drink button, if you have an invisibility potion, you can use that. Drop combat, and go right through the cave. So for killing the imps, I bubble, consecrate, holy wrath, and I use Ramstein's lightning bolts just to make sure they die in time. Once the imps die, jump to the safe spot and wait for the other mobs to reset. Now, sometimes you can run into problems with the plants. For example, they will reset, but then they'll keep aggroing back on you again and again. If this happens, and you have Blessing and Protection up, and you don't have Forbiddance, make sure, bop yourself, run back to where you were fighting the boss. The mobs will, and use that area to path the mobs back and forth. Then repeat it again, and at that moment, once they're about to get you, jump down again, run to the safe spot, and you'll be able to drop combat and enter the cave. Once you're in the cave, it's time to mine those nodes. I hope you enjoyed how I farmed Dire Maul East on my Paladin, and I hope you learned some new tricks. Like what you see? Like and subscribe to Zulio Gaming. Until next time.